All right, what's up, guys? Today we are going to be doing a guide on how to do an SEO audit like a complete boss. So, if you guys are ready, what we're going to do is we're going to start out by opening up the complete template that you can download on my website if you just go to chasehunter.com. And if you would like to get an audit like the one I'm about to do, you can actually click on the Yes Please button on the homepage of my website and get an audit right here. What's up, Chad? Good morning. All right, so first thing we got to do is we got to go grab this template, which is right here. We're going to go ahead and select Send Me the Template. And we're going to get it right here. Now, I already have it, so I'm just going to go ahead and open it up in my Google Drive. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two different ways to do this, because you can do SEO audits with websites you have analytics for, or you can do SEO audits with websites that you don't have analytics for. Now, obviously, if you don't have analytics for a website, the reason why you'd be doing an audit is because you're probably trying to get that person as a client. So let's just go over what you're going to do if you don't have analytics. All right, so we're going to go to our template, which is right here, the 4-phase SEO audit template. And next thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and get some of these bars out of here, because these are just new updates I've been doing to the template. All right. So first things first, let's go find a website we want to do an audit for. Now, in another video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I get tons of audit clients, because I actually don't really need to direct outreach to people. You'll see here in my intake, I get about 2 to 3 people asking me for an audit a day. So that's pretty cool. But ideally what you want to do is you want to start doing content so that you can bring in people who want the audits. I use my content, like my videos, use tutorials, that kind of thing, to promote something like a checklist or some sort of free resource, and then I'll actually offer my audits to people who are on my ManyChat or my email, that kind of thing. So if I ever need a client, it's pretty easy to find one. And then welcome everybody in chat. We got 27 people. Just want to say that I appreciate you guys and thank you for being here. All right. And by the way, if you have any questions, make sure you ask by putting little stars next to your questions. That way I can see that it's a question, not a comment. Chase, what is better for you, Discord or ManyChat in terms of open rate? Definitely ManyChat. My open rates on ManyChat are about 70%. I don't know what my open rates are on Discord, but I was using MailChimp, and my open rates on MailChimp were very, very low. You can see almost every single one of these is 60 to 70% open rate. Some are up to like 80%, which is just nuts. All right, so because I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this from just like not knowing anything about the person, not getting them as a lead, this is going to be like a cold sale. What I would recommend doing is going and first figuring out what you know the most about. So if you know the most about computer repair, then go for computer repair. If you know the most about iPhones, you basically just want to go for whatever you've been able to rank. And obviously if it's a local site, it's usually easier, but you can always reach out to national sites too. And sometimes that's easier if you know more about that. So like for me, I probably have the most experience ranking like tech type sites, like computer repair, iPhone repair, that kind of thing. So what I would do is I would look for something probably in my area. I would just type in iPhone repair in Colorado Springs. And the reason why you usually want to do your area is because you can actually go to these places, and you have a way higher chance of getting a sale if you're in person. So what you could easily do is find one of these shops that are lower on the list. You could walk into them, and you could literally just walk into all these different stores throughout the day and just tell them, hey, look, I have this audit checklist right here. You could bring your laptop, or you could just bring your phone, open it up on your phone, say there's like 4 different things here that I wanted to check about your site. I'm a real person. I live here. It's completely free. Let me know if you want me to do it for you. And I guarantee you your conversion rate's going to be like super high because they're going to see a real person. It's not just some person spamming them on the phone. This is actually something that I've done for a chiropractor, and I got them as a client when I had to get some stuff done for my back. So this is totally the best way to do it in person. Otherwise, I've also been able to just call people and be like, hey, I have a website similar to yours in this other area. It's ranking #1. I wanted to give you a free audit. I'm actually just moved here, or I'm local here, yada, yada. You're going to have a way lower conversion rate though, because these people get phone calls like this all the time. So it's better, again, to just walk into these stores. Get in your car one day, look up all the iPhone repair shops and just walk into all of them and bring this checklist on your phone and say, hey, look, I want to help you guys with a free audit. I've been able to do this for their businesses. I guarantee you your conversion rate will go through the roof. What's up, Kyle? What's up, Mohammed? All right, so let's just assume that we went into one of these stores and they said, okay. Now, some of them are not going to want to trust you with their analytics. So we're going to try to do an audit without analytics. So what we're going to do is we're going to first find the website. And I usually go for websites that are like, 4 or 5 down in the map packs. So maybe like this one. We'll go to the website. Free audit, then sell them SEO. That's a pretty basic idea. Okay. Well, I'm not trying to give super technical advice right here. I'm just trying to help people who want to get their first audits done, probably never done an audit before. So, all right. So here we go. We got a bunch of different services on the website. We got the URL. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring it over here and we're just going to plug it in. What up? Thank you. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and put the URL here. And then we're going to go and put the audit date, which is 11/18/19. And we're going to go competitors. So we'll look up the competitors in a second. But first thing we want to do is just take this URL and plug it in Screaming Frog. If you don't know what Screaming Frog is, it's just a free crawler that you can use. If you're going to be doing huge websites, like say you're going international and you need above 50,000 URLs, you're either going to need to get a bunch more RAM for your computer, or you're just going to want to use something called Deep Crawl. All right, so we got the URL. Now, obviously, if we had the analytics and everything, we go to API Access, hook up the analytics, Search Console, Ahrefs, that sort of stuff, but we don't have that. So we're just going to go ahead and press Start. And while this is crawling, you guys can actually go leave a like on this video if you want to be nice. All right, so there's not a lot of pages on here. We're going to go to HTML because we don't care about all the CSS and everything. And here we go. Here's all the pages on the website. So what we'll do is we'll press Export, Save. We're going to go to our Google Sheets, File, Open, Upload. And we're going to take that CSV and just plug it in right there. Okay, now we have all the pages, so we're just going to go ahead and grab all those and just plug them straight into our Screaming Frog template. Let me just download this because I'm going to have to, I'll just make a copy now. That way I don't lose my master template. Now, again, Ted says, nice audit without Google Analytics. Now, I don't recommend this. If you can get their analytics, it's going to be a lot better for you. But if you don't, this is how you do it without it. Now, this is the problem with not having this stuff is you can't really put the data in here like you would like for the conditional formatting. So you'd have to put in a new Screaming Frog crawl without the analytics. So we'll just delete this one and plug it in. All right. So now we got all of our pages. We can look at our titles. So we'll bring that over here. And sometimes I just like to rearrange this a little bit just so I can see better. We got the title lengths. So not as concerned about that. We could just put it over here though anyways. We got the meta descriptions. Generally what I'll do is if I'm working on a client is I'll change all the data here, or I'll have somebody change all the data here, and then we upload it so we know what we changed it to. I find that it's a little bit better to do it that way, or just to leave a note here instead, so that you remember what the title was before and what it's changed to, or the meta description. We have the H1s. So you can see there's only a few pages with H1s on them. Keep scrolling over. We got the robots, meta robots, and not really sure why it's saying stuff about images in that. It's kind of weird. We have a bunch of H2s. They're all duplicates on every page. It's not really recommended either. So we can just put that over there, see what the H2s are. Whoops. Bring it over. Sometimes it's better if you just minimize these so it's easier to drag things. If we keep scrolling, we can see if there's any meta keywords, which there isn't. We can see what their canonicals are, which they look like they're all self-pointing. Let's go see. Yep, they're all self-pointing, which is good. You don't want canonicals pointing to other pages unless that canonical is supposed to be about another page, so that looks good. Come back over here. We got the word counts of all the pages, which is nice to look at, especially if you're going to be crawling other people's websites and seeing what their average word counts for all their pages are. So like easily what we could do is we could take another website, like let's go grab this, go to iPhone repair Colorado Springs, and go to the top result and see what their word counts are for all their pages, and we can actually compare them. Tomash, thanks for the invitation, Chase. You're welcome. Thanks for joining. All right, so obviously these people are ranking very well. Let's go plug them into Screaming Frog 2 and see what they're doing. And this is always a good thing to do, is like, you know, people don't do this enough. They don't do competitor analysis. I don't know why. It's one of the easiest things you can do, and it just gives you all these ideas on, you know, how to replicate what's already working for other people. So we're going to go ahead and export that, bring it over to the sheet so we can compare the two. We're going to open this new URL, and it should be right there. How many of you guys in chat feel confident doing SEO audits? Let me know. All right, so now we got all of their stuff. We can see that they have basically the same amount of pages. Let's see if they have the same types of pages. So we got all these services. They don't really have a lot of services. They have, well, actually, it looks like they do, but they're categorizing them as dates, which is really odd. Let's go look at their word counts. So we're going to go over here, keep scrolling, and we're going to compare their word counts to ours. So boom. So 293, 371, that's kind of their big pages. And then us over here, we got a little bit more actually. So overall, this website is doing pretty decent in terms of the content that it has. If we actually compare the authority on these two websites, I'm assuming that this one probably has a little bit more, probably has some more citations and stuff as well. So let's go ahead and go to the first one, the one that's ranking well. And we can see it's actually got a 0.2 DR, which is really, really low. And if we look at our guys, let's see what we got over here. We actually got a lot more. So I'm assuming these people are probably doing a little bit better organically, but I could be wrong. So let's see. We got these guys with a certificate that's not even really working. They're ranking well in the maps, probably off all those reviews, and I'm sure they're probably responding to them. Let's see if they are or not. Oh, they're not even responding. Wow. So these guys would actually be probably somebody good to contact. Even though they're doing well, they could be doing better. And yeah, you can see here, look at this. I think this is the website, cell phone repair, Colorado Springs. Is this it? No. Okay, so this is another website that we can look at. This is probably the best one to get an idea from. And then Colorado iPhone. So you can see, guys, like, authority isn't always the best thing. This website clearly doesn't have as much authority. They don't have really as good of content. They have lower word counts. A lot of their pages are not indexable. They have no SSL certificate on their website, but they're still doing better than their competition. It's nuts. Like, links are not everything. And everybody thinks like, well, you know, you have to have links in order to rank. And that's not true. These people with no authority are outranking a lot of people. Let's check out cell phone repair really quick. I want to see if this is a national website or not. Yeah, so this is a national website, but they're ranking locally because they have good SEO. Pretty cool. Then they're using schema markup here. This is actually something that will give you a manual penalty because they're saying they have 900 reviews, but that's supposed to just be for this location. And we all know that they don't have 900 reviews for this location. This is just on every single page, which you can report this to Google and actually get them a manual penalty. If we look at the actual Colorado Springs reviews, I'm assuming they don't have 900. They might if we look at their Google My Business. Google also says that you're not supposed to use reviews as from your Google My Business to mark up your website, but I don't know. I think that's bullshit. I don't even see them on here. Interesting. Okay. And also you can report stuff like this, where it says iPhone, cell phone, iPad, like that's just keyword stuffing. That's not their actual business name. So you can report them for that and get them removed. So anyways, if we go back over here, what we're going to do is we're just going to start checking off some stuff for their website. We're going to just go like this, phase 1. You can start listing off some of their competitors. So the person that's doing the best in the maps is this website. And then the next person that's doing the best organically was that other website, this one. Usually want about 3 or 4 competitors in there. You don't really need that many. What I'll do is I'll just take each of their keywords on Ahrefs. I'll go to their top pages and I'll just extract their keywords. So I'll go export, start export, same thing over here. And then I'll just plug them into new tabs like this. I'll just be like, okay, competitor 1, competitor 2, and I'll just show all their keywords. Because this way it gives you the ability to see what their top pages are, what pages they're using on their website, and then you can pretty much just include that in your own strategy. Next thing you got is extra notes if you're going to want to, leave any notes for the client. These are tools that you're going to want for the client's assets like Google Analytics, Google Search Console, Bing Search Console. Moz is kind of helpful just because you can look at certain elements. Like if I activate it here, I can see page title, meta description, meta keywords, H1s. It's just an easier way to look at stuff. You can highlight the internal and external links in the page as well, which is pretty cool. I think if you press this, you can see internal links. It'll show you all highlighted in yellow. External links, it'll show them all highlighted in blue, which it doesn't look like they have. Oh, just these over here. No followed links, kind of cool. And I think you can also highlight certain words or not, like driving, which is it's kind of a cool tool, and it's free. So anyways, next thing. So all this stuff in here, this is basically everything that I teach in my program. If you want step-by-step instructions on how to do this stuff, which you'll be able to find on my website if you just go to Chase Reiner and then paid programs, SEO certification. But yeah, I mean, this stuff's pretty basic. If you don't know a lot about SEO, all this stuff can be learned in a week. So site redirects preferred version, pretty easy to figure out. All you're doing is just seeing if the website's redirecting. And you can actually use Mozbar to click on this to see what the HTTP status is. So you can see this is correct. And then if I go to www, it should give me a 301 redirect. So we'll go back to here and boom, there's a 301. So that's usually what you want to see. And same thing with all this other stuff like fave icon, that's just that little picture up there, robust.txt. That's just going into your robust.txt and looking at all this stuff. HTML sitemap and footer, all this stuff's pretty self-explanatory. So what you normally do is you're just going to check all this stuff off. And once it's checked off, you're going to sort it from all the things that need to be fixed first. Now, generally, the things that are higher up towards the top are the things that are more important. So if the site doesn't redirect preferred version, sort of like this website doesn't, the one that was in the maps, or the SSL isn't working, that's one of the big things you want to fix first. And what I'll do is I'll create a phase 1 top issues, and I'll be like, okay, your SSL isn't working correctly. Because we know that that's based on what Google said, an actual ranking factor. Or you can see here they don't have a fave icon. That's not a big deal, but it's something they should fix. Or you can see, they don't have any call to actions above the fold on their, homepage, which is another problem. I'm sorry, this is still highlighting everything. Trying to take all this off. There we go. If we keep scrolling down, we can see they don't have their phone number in the footer. Oh, actually, yeah, they do. Okay, good. They don't have a privacy policy. They don't have a copyright. Like, there's just like a bunch of stuff that you're going to find on the phase one. Now, even though a lot of these things are pretty minuscule, there are things that you can tell them, like, hey, look, these are things that we're already finding. Because if you can find issues with phase one, which you're almost always going to be able to, then you can easily promote phase 2, 3, and 4. And phase 2, 3, and 4, all they are is you're just basically taking their individual issues, like their URLs and their analytics data, everything, and you're observing that, and you're seeing what you can do to fix that stuff based on data analysis. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. Phase 3 is just coming up with a keyword plan, content plan, who the writers are going to be, and then phase 4 is just going over like all of their authority stuff, like who their targets are going to be on social media platforms, what their strategy is going to be for that, what their opt-in strategy is going to be, how they're going to build national traffic so they can build that into their local authority, so on and so on. And this is a strategy that I personally use on all my different websites to bring in massive results. Like, this isn't like just stuff I'm making up. I don't know why this says it's dropping. It's actually going up. This is really odd. But if you look at like Siphon King, you'll see this is a brand new website I made. It's at 3.7 thousand organic keywords using this strategy. This web design site in Santa Barbara, a town I used to live in, is ranking very well. The web design site in Colorado Springs, which is a place I just moved a couple of months ago, it's already ranking. This is a client I worked with, a local pizza shop. My own website's gone up. This website, they actually stopped working with me, so that's probably why they dropped. But you look at other websites like our sleep guide or the iPhone repair shop or anything like Built with Science is another client. All of these people, when they were with me, they were just going straight up. Like this, they started with me when they were at zero traffic. Built with Science, builtwithscience.com, another website that I came in like here. They were at like 26,000 visits a month. Now they're up here and they're ranking for things like bicep workouts and crazy stuff. So this stuff really does work. I'm not just making this up. Like the iPhone repair shop, it completely took over locally. And the cool thing is, like, if you guys don't believe me, because I know a lot of you don't, what you can do is you can actually see some of my videos. Like my courses, my local course is actually me ranking for #1 for SEO in 10 videos. So like same thing with the iPhone repair. This was actually a course I did, and in I think it was like 5 or 6 videos of me just streaming, I actually ranked this site #1. For our sleep guide, this site, the one I was showing you earlier, I have 17 videos in my certification program that actually shows me live streaming every single change I made to this website to take them from zero traffic to like them making like, I think they were at a certain point making like $50,000 in affiliate sales every month just from people clicking from their articles to beds. So almost everything I do, that's why I have 1,000 videos of me streaming, and that's why I do really boring videos, is because it's literally just me working. All I do is just stream me working on websites, and it's all without link building. I don't do link building. It's nuts. So yeah, again, if you guys want to get an audit like this, or you want any advice or anything, go over to my website and let me know, because you can just fill out this out and get a hold of me. So anyways, phase 2, what you're going to do is you're going to take your data, and here's how you look at your data. Like, you're just going to go into analytics. Hey guys, by the way, thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, just put stars next to your question so I can see what you're asking. All right, so let's go to our own website, because obviously we don't have the data for this website. What we're going to do is we're going to go to behavior. Well, actually, the first metric you usually look at is acquisition all traffic channels, because you want to see the channels where all your traffic's coming from. And you're going to just filter by your main goal. So we're just going to go for the outbound click to ManyChat, because that's where I get most of my sales, is people opting into my ManyChat. And holy shit, somebody just, oh, the trash people are outside. So here we can see where I'm getting all my traffic from. So social is like the top place. We can see the conversion rate at 36%. We can see the outbound clicks to ManyChat, 432. And this is literally just in 6 days. So, I mean, that's pretty nuts, right? 843 outbound clicks to ManyChat in the matter of 6 days. And we can see that social has way more clicks. Now, if I want to see what social platforms are referring all these clicks, I can click on social. And I can see Facebook actually has the highest potential. Now, why is this important? Why do we care about all these different channels? And why do we care so much about data analysis and diving deep into things like this? Because a lot of these things are what is going to be able to show the most improvements on people's websites once you start doing phase 2 analysis. Phase 2 analysis is where all the magic happens. Now, a lot of people you're going to be working with aren't going to have any data. They won't even have analytics set up. So that's why if they don't even have analytics set up, it's like, how are you going to help? And obviously, you're going to have to come up with a marketing strategy for them, which is completely different than doing SEO. SEO is optimizing a strategy that's already existing. If there's nothing to optimize, then you're really just kind of like sitting there trying to be a marketing consultant. This is why a lot of SEOs don't do well, even though they know SEO, because they're not in the position to really do marketing for a company. They don't know about the company. They don't know how they would ever do marketing for them, that kind of thing. And that's why I always recommend to do 2 things. Niche down to something that you know, or something that you're going to want to spend a lot of time learning about, and then figure out who the top competitors are for that thing. So like if I want to be Neil Patel, I want to be Brian Dean, I want to be whoever, I'm going to want to first niche down to something that's less competitive than what they're doing, because I'm not going to just overnight become Neil Patel. And just by doing what he's doing doesn't mean I'm going to become him. The only way I'm going to do it is figuring out, okay, how much money is he spending? How many blog posts is he doing? What kind of blog posts? How many videos is he doing? So on and so on and so on. That's how you figure out how to optimize what's already out there. Because if you don't have a strategy in the first place, then you need to shoot for one. Does that make sense, everybody? Shivam says, want your free SEO audit template, unable to get it from your website. That should work. If you guys want to check, you just go to resources, SEO audit template, and you should be able to just get it sent to you. You do have to talk to the robot for a second, but it should work, because I'm pretty sure if I go to Facebook, it should pop up. Before I send you the resources, can you do me a favor? Go leave a comment. Yeah, and then it sends it to you. So it should work, as long as you have Facebook. Okay, so how many of you guys in chat, how many of you guys like understand what I'm saying here? Does this make sense? The difference between having a client with data and having a client without data? The reason why it's so easy to work with clients with more traffic is because usually you can go into analytics data like this and you can find quick things that you can fix. Like, for instance, if they're getting all their traffic from Facebook, you just have to recommend that they keep posting on Facebook. So like, let's say they are only posting once a day or like once a week on Facebook, and they're getting all this traffic. Well, then why not start bringing in more traffic or more engagement around Facebook if that's their top platform? It just makes sense. And then you can start diving into the analytics. Like for instance, if I go and see that most of my traffic's from Facebook, I can be like, all right, well, where is it coming from specifically? So I can go to maybe my Facebook group, because I get a lot of people into my Facebook group, and I can start looking at the data around this. And let me go look at the stats. So the way you look at Facebook group stats is you go to Group Insights. And then I'm going to look at the engagement details. And then I'm going to look at the top engaging posts, and look at that. So most of my posts, you can see they're getting like 5,000, 6,000 views, 5.2 thousand, 2.9 thousand, 3.7 thousand. Now, if we compare that, that's just one post. Now, if we compare that to what you're going to see on, let's say, my website, like, how much traffic I'm getting on my website off organic or direct traffic, how many views am I getting? So organic search and direct, I'm only getting about 700 views to my pages, basically. I mean, they're clicks to my pages, but they're basically views. Now, that's like not even close to what I'm getting over here. And also same thing with YouTube. If I look at the analytics there, where I'm getting also more traffic, I can see that I'm probably getting a bunch of data or a bunch of views. Now, what you can do is you can just try to figure out how to optimize these two strategies, like figure out what your competitors are doing, figure out what your stats are over there. Like maybe you have low click-through rates on a lot of your videos or low click-through rates on your posts on Facebook. Maybe you're not posting enough, something like that. And simply just by making recommendations based off data for these platforms, you could double their traffic. Like it's that easy. Now, if we go into more like organic analysis type stuff, let's say we start looking at their pages, what we can do is we can go into like behavior, site content, landing pages, and we can actually see, okay, so these are the pages that are bringing in most of the traffic. Let's say that this page right here has a 1% click-through rate right here, or a conversion rate for ManyChat. That's something where it's like, okay, well, what is the reason for that? And I bet you it's probably because we don't even have a button on that page. Let's go see. So we'll go look at it. Okay. Oh, it looks like we do have a button, but it might be that people aren't liking the way this is set up. So we could probably like redirect them to something else that they might like it more. But the point is like, if you have low click-through rates, low conversion rates, or high bounce rates, even certain things like, let's say people on a certain browser are bouncing off or not converting as much. It might be because that browser isn't set up correctly on your website. Like let's say, Safari has a 78% bounce rate, but Chrome has a 61%. And this is like my second most trafficked browser. Why is this so much worse? Or look at this, the conversion rate is at 26% versus 35%. And all these other browsers at like 60 to 70% conversion rates. It's usually because there's something wrong with the responsiveness of the website, or that maybe it loads slower on these types of computers. There's like different things, or these networks or browsers. There's like different things that is super important to look at. Mobile, how do these interact with how do users interact with your website on mobile? You can see there's a 77% bounce rate on mobile versus 60% on desktop. The conversion rate is higher on mobile versus desktop. These are all things that you need to come to conclusions on that I guarantee you website owners are not thinking about. Like they're not looking at this data. And just by spending some time doing this, you're going to have so much data that you can start giving to clients and saying, hey, these are all the things that need to be fixed. Like people will pay a lot of money for this type of analysis. So again, what you do is you do phase 1 for free generally, and then you offer the other phase 2, 3, 4 phases, which is really just, again, phase 2 looking at all the analytics data, phase 3 doing some keyword research, competitor analysis, and then phase 4, which is figuring out what their social strategy is going to be based on what competitors are doing. I'll show you what this looks like for one of our clients. So we'll go to here. So this guy just paid me $2,200, $800 for the roadmap or the whole audit, and then $1,500 for the implementations. And this is what the phase 2 looks like. This is what it all looks like when it's all set up. We got all the keywords. So what you do again is you benchmark all your stats like this. I benchmarked it on the 3rd, and then on the 3rd of next month, we're going to re-benchmark and see how much of this data actually changed. Like, did the click-through rates change? Did the bounce rates change? That kind of stuff. And let's go look really quick in Search Console, see if we got anything. What all questions do you usually ask the client before the SEO audit? Usually I will ask like basic stuff, like, what are your main keywords? Who are your competitors? How much have you invested in this previously? What were the results? Just like as many questions as possible, like that are like going to be, relevant to what you're going to need to know, really. I know that's a pretty generic answer, but it's kind of true. So yeah, what we're doing right now, I mean, we've only been doing SEO for like 2 weeks. You don't usually want to, you don't usually see huge changes until you've been doing this stuff for like a month or two, unless you already are working with a lot of data. But again, like people that don't really have marketing, they don't really have SEO or anything, it takes longer because they don't have anything to work with really. So you have to start from the ground up basically. You can see here's all the things that have been improving. So you can see none of these things were ranking before, and now all of these keywords are ranking on their website, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of keywords that are now showing up. But yeah, so this is what it looks like. So we have all the competitors here, all their keywords. We have the phase 2, all their benchmarks. Phase 3, all their keywords that we want to go for. We have the content writers, which we get from Writers Access. Phase 4, we haven't really set up anything yet because we're waiting to complete 2, 3. And yeah, I mean, that's how I do it. So if you guys are really confused about this process, again, I would recommend maybe considering going to the program. You can apply for it today just by going to paid programs, SEO certification. Basically, the biggest value you get out of it is you get to talk to me pretty much every day. I do streams with a lot of the people from the program. I'll do screen shares. I'll share like my phone calls with clients. You get my phone number. You get to talk to me pretty much whenever. That's really the biggest value, is just being able to learn in person over the next few months and take your game to the next level. So yeah, do you guys have any questions before I head out? Somebody asked, will this be available later? Got distracted by my 6-year-old daughter. Epic parenting fails. Yeah, this will be available later. Anthony says, go over phase 2. What happens if you have no data, even though the site has been up for 12 months? So yeah, that's when you would want to figure out their marketing strategy, because a lot of the time people won't have data because they haven't done SEO, meaning they have no traffic. So you need to start building out traffic for them. And the way you do that is by going into phase 3 and figuring out what your content marketing strategy is. Phase 4, figuring out what your social strategy is, so on and so on. Idris says, how to do backlinks on a daily basis. I don't do backlinks, so you'd be asking the wrong guy. All right, guys. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you all for joining. That's how you pretty much become a boss at doing SEO audits. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you guys next time. Happy SEOing. Bye.